Hello, and welcome to the SpoilerCast, the show. If you're just listening to this on whatever platform you're listening to us, you didn't notice, but the cameras are all screwed up, but now they're fixed. Hello, once again, welcome to the SpoilerCast, the podcast where we talk about movies, and we don't care about spoiling them because it's a SpoilerCast. So spoilers, yeah. And with me today, since this is a regular episode, is my sister and trusty co-host, Rebecca. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Ooh, sorry.
And we are continuing today our Christmas theme or whatever.
Yeah, Christmas theme.
We're watching another Netflix Christmas movie.
Choice this week.
My choice, yeah. It was, I don't know, because a while back we watched a lot of Netflix movies, and most of them were like, meh, or like, okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's why we kind of stopped watching Netflix movies for a while. I wanted to watch something else, and that was very nice. But then, we said we were going to do Christmas movies, and Netflix does consistently put out good Christmas movies, or have at least so far.
A couple at least.
Yeah, I mean there's like
year,
there's they put out a bunch of crap ones or like mediocre ones, but then they put out good ones. And a few years ago it was Christmas Chronicles. Then last year was Klaus, which was really good. I mean, if we should talk about any Christmas movie, it should be Klaus, but we haven't done that. And then
so we'll see.
Yeah. And then this year it was Christmas Chronicles 2 and Jingle Jangle, which were the two big ones, I suppose.
Yeah.
We talked about Christmas Chronicles 2, which I think we both were kind of disappointed at.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, no, it didn't live up to the hype, I guess. The first one set for it.
So hopefully this was to be the Netflix saving grace this year. We watched Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. But you watched it yesterday because I got some messages from you.
Uh-huh.
And judging from the messages, I'm guessing you didn't like it.
Oh, no, not much, no.
Oh, okay. Let's just get right into it then. Jingle Jangle, what did you think, Rebecca?
Well, first of all, I did not know it was supposed to be a musical.
Okay.
I mean, I figured it's a Christmas movie. They're probably gonna have like a music number, so like in Christmas Chronicle, where you had that one big music number.
Yeah.
But this was... Have you seen Hamilton? Because this reminded me a lot of Hamilton.
I haven't seen Hamilton, no.
It reminded me a lot of Hamilton. Like the style of music and the way they kind of put the music in the scenario all of a sudden. It's just... I mean, Hamilton is good. This was not as good.
Okay, I've only seen parts of Hamilton, and the fact that it's like a hip hop musical has always turned me off. I'm not a big fan of musicals in general, and Hamilton, it's just I don't know. It's been this like cringy, memey thing that I've just stayed away from. So
watch it. I'm just saying you should watch it. But this reminded me of it in the style, sort of.
Okay.
Not that was the bad thing. It's just I didn't expect it, and I don't think that they executed it as well. It could have worked if it was a Broadway musical, but in a movie, no.
All right. Well, I can tell you that we've already gotten some comments. It says, me and my 20-year-old daughter watched this recently and didn't realize that it was a bit of a musical. I don't like musicals, by the way. We almost turned it off. Glad we didn't. Solid holiday film. And I kind of have to agree with that, because yeah, when I got the messages from you, I hadn't watched it yet. I was planning on watching it today. But since I got the messages from you, I was like, I should check this out, and I did. I wasn't like I said, I'm not a big fan of musicals, so I was cringing through the first 10 minutes. But I gotta say,
2 or 3 musical
yeah,
numbers. What's it called? Yeah, numbers.
musical numbers. But I gotta say, I didn't think it was terrible. I mean, the musical numbers. The first one I actually kind of liked. I thought the dancing was kind of obnoxious. I don't know why. It wasn't like it was bad or the choreography was bad. It just felt.
It didn't fit the scene. It didn't fit the movie.
Something like it didn't really fit. I don't know what it was.
That's what I'm saying.
But
it's made for Broadway.
I liked the song.
It was fine.
I don't remember now. Today is the day. Something. But then, none of the songs really grabbed me, which I wasn't. I didn't expect to think any of the songs would like get to me. There was one, and it's the first time, when what's his name? Jeronicus, when he's older. What's the guy's name?
Jeronicus Jingle.
Yeah, the actor. God damn it.
Oh, isn't it
Forrest Whitaker? Thank you. Forrest Whitaker. There's the one when he sings. He stands up in the attic and he sings like he's lost his faith or something. It's a super sad song, and I was like, oh, that one got to me. But other than that, nah, none of the songs really made me feel anything.
The only song I kind of liked was Journey's song.
And that was the square root of impossible or whatever.
Yeah.
That was okay. Yeah. But I had the same problem with this as I have with every musical. It's that actual emotion and like character development is replaced by songs. And the songs, and they're like, oh yeah, but the character development is in the song. Oh yeah, they're literally saying to us, I feel like this, and that is why I am happy or sad. And it's like, that's just bad exposition masked by music. So I've never liked that argument. And it always makes the characters, even though people think there's so much emotion and emotions in musicals, that is the one reason why I can't like get attached to the characters, because it feels like they're phony. Like, stop singing, actually emote, you shallow person. I mean, musicals don't work for me. I know the point is to convey emotion through the song, but it just doesn't work for me. So it's not that I'm not saying like, oh, musicals are bad. I'm just saying I don't like musicals. For me, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There are exceptions, of course, but...
And that's why I texted you last night. I was like, I need shit, you're not gonna like this, because it's a musical.
And those were the problems I had with the movie. That some of the characters felt underdeveloped.
Yeah.
And that there was some like missed opportunities with the structure of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if we didn't get the backstory to Jeronicus at first. Like, we meet him when Journey meets him the first time. When she gets to the store, she's heard all these wonderful stories about Grandpa Jeronicus and his wonderful mechanical toys. Yeah, and now there's just this angry sourpuss, kind of like Scrooge, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and she helps him to rediscover his joy, which is the point of the movie, but we already know why. There's no like mystery to why, so there's no like, oh, that's why, because we already know.
That's what I was missing mostly, because there was no mystery, there was no proper like problem to solve, really.
Except for the whole believe thing, and I like that, but we already knew that.
Even the part where they lost Buddy 3000 wasn't really it didn't feel like an adventure. They just kind of walked over there, walked in, grabbed him, and left.
Yeah, and that's...
It was a bit too lackluster.
I was kind of torn at that point as well, because just before, Buddy 3000 gets stolen, we just launched into it. Maybe we should talk about the actual plot.
What is the plot?
Well, the plot is you have Jeronicus Jangle, a master toy maker. I mean, he literally creates magic toys.
With the magic ingredient from that.
Yeah, especially that. Like, I mean, reality. I mean, you shouldn't judge this on, it's not realistic, but
no,
he literally uses magic. It's fake, but that's beside the point. The thing is that he believes in it, so then he can create it. That's the whole thing: belief, faith. And he has an apprentice who is a good toy maker, but he doesn't quite get it. His inventions doesn't quite work.
He doesn't have that feeling, that belief.
Yeah.
I guess.
He wants it a little too bad, is what you can say.
He wants it for the wrong reasons, I guess.
Yeah. So when Jeronicus puts together, God damn, my leg itches. There we go. When Jeronicus puts together his latest toy, which is the dumbest thing in the movie, he makes basically a sentient robot, an AI, of a matador, voiced by Ricky Martin, which was okay, because I didn't remember him having that deep of a voice. But anyway, I haven't heard him in 15 years, so
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We haven't heard him in a while, and he's acting, so I guess.
Yeah. Oh sure. Yeah. And this toy, when it finds out that it's going to be mass-produced to be sold as this year's big toy, kind of quickly puts together a scheme where he fools Jeronicus' assistant, called Gustafsson, into stealing him and the book of inventions that Jeronicus has, where he writes down all his ideas.
No, not stealing.
Oh, right.
Was it?
Borrowing indefinitely, yeah. So
Silly.
And because he tells him to do this, he has to promise not to make any more Matador toys.
Yeah, he can't mass produce him.
Yeah, mass produce this Matador doll, which is
Don Juan Diego.
All right, whatever. So and because he steals the book, Jeronicus loses his faith in himself and
in his toys.
Yeah, he can't make more toys. He vows never to create again, which is like, I get that part, but then it feels like they wanted to. The whole villain subplot didn't really fit in.
No, there isn't a real villain per se. They're just trying to like.
Gustafsson he stole from him,
but he doesn't do it because he has this mean, want to destroy the world kind of thing. He just wants to make money, which he would have if he just stopped and waited.
Yeah, well, that's what makes a good villain. He doesn't think he's doing something wrong.
True. I don't know. I didn't.
But the thing is that for me it didn't fit because, Jeronicus lost his faith. His faith, like by losing his book, he still had what created the magic in his life, which was his family, which was obvious. And it should be losing his family was what made him lose his faith, which he does as well. But it's all started by him losing the book, which felt a little forced to me.
Yeah. I mean, the losing of the wife is that
should have been
straw, kind of, but
yeah.
It should have been the thing. He should have still like losing the book and losing his invention should have been like, god damn it, I'll just have to try again, try harder.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, losing your wife, being like, oh shit, I can't do this anymore. But no.
Yeah, because
he just gave up because he lost his book. and
and I,
that
and I
one thing. I mean, he still had the magic thingy, as far as
mhm,
I understand, but he didn't use it again.
yeah, and he had, because the buddy toy was actually, the blueprints for it was made by his daughter, who was like a a budding inventor as well.
Yeah,
So it just, yeah,
we had inspiration and everything. You could have just continued with her instead of Gustafsson, and probably been fine.
I get the feeling that uh that the movie's both like too convoluted but also a little too simplistic when it comes to like uh explaining why he lost his faith, and that's because it's made for kids. Because it's definitely a kids movie. That's also why I
Definitely.
think they kind of hammered in the backstory before the actual movie starts, and that's why the movie's 2 hours long instead of an hour and 40.
Yeah.
Because they need to make the kids understand. But because they really needed to make the kids understand, they like made it more convoluted than it had to be. With the
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I didn't like that part. I liked the part where he was a grumpy. That's because that's the classic Christmas story. A grumpy old man who has no joy anymore. Not for especially then for like Christmas things because he made toys. But then his plucky young granddaughter comes there who is full of life and invention, and she brings back
joy.
the joy of creation, and joy of invention again, and slowly but surely he gets it back, and
Yeah.
I liked that part, and I think that part worked pretty well. I especially like the scene. It kind of came out of nowhere. It felt like it was like tacked on. I tried to find something about it, but I didn't find anything. Like it was like a like when the movie was finished, like, we need another scene where he's actually happy. The whole snowball fight. I loved that scene because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was fun.
A
People
great
were
scene.
smiling, and
But
they
that
made
was like
and he
one of
actually
the few
used.
really good
It was
scenes.
like him sort of getting his faith back because he started writing, not like seeing the numbers in the air like he did before, which is kind of the thing. Like he could just the the magic was that he can like he just make the math in his head, and we saw the numbers, which is kind
Yeah.
of I don't know if they were making like a reference to like Rain Man and saying like, oh, they're autistic. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
I
so.
don't.
I
They
think it
never
was
say
just
that,
supposed to
but
be magical that if you truly believe, you can
you
see
can
what you
see.
write in
Yeah,
the
exactly,
air,
exactly.
I guess. It's just to show kids magic.
Yeah, but either way, like in that scene, he doesn't see the math in the air, but he does like from out of nowhere just draws it on a window. So it's like,
Yeah,
something's happening. He's
it's still
progressing.
there
It's
somehow,
coming
yeah.
back. So that was a fun scene. But then it's back to, oh, Gustafsson wants to steal the toys, but he doesn't have the magic, so he can't make Buddy live. And Buddy is like a looks like a looks like a mix
Like
between
Wally.
Wally, Clank, and E.T.
Yeah.
Like a
It kind of has
typical cutesy robot, kids movie robot.
yeah, it kind of has a Groot feeling about it as well.
Yeah,
The
because he
baby Groot.
repeats what people say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I thought it was kind of creepy. I don't know if you noticed it, but whenever it spoke, whenever it repeated what anyone else said, there was like this echo to it,
Uh-huh.
like someone was screaming the words from deep
Far
within
deep
Buddy.
inside,
Yeah, like
yeah.
don't be afraid, afraid, afraid. It was like, help me, I'm stuck in here. Basically, is what it
Yeah,
sounded
no,
like. I thought it was just creepy to me. I did not find it cute at all. But
no,
maybe that's
not
just me.
really. No, but no, not really. I mean, the eyes were kind of cute, and that they
Sure,
had to
yeah,
believe in it for it to work. That was kind of cute.
yeah,
But the
sure.
rest of it, I don't know. The one thing that bothered me the most,
Hmm.
to be honest, which is directly connected to the robot, why did believing in the robot make them fly?
Well, that's
That
another.
was
It's a.
so unnecessary.
I know, but
Because you had the magic in the fire in the beginning, you had the magic of them being able to draw in the air and kind of see it, and you had them trying to figure out the square root of
impossible.
possibility or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of magic I can accept because it kind of fits in the theme. It kind of fits with what they're trying to do.
Because it's real magic. It's math.
Well, no, but like it works
Yeah.
in the setting,
Yeah.
and believing in the robot to make it live kind of worked as well to me. But flying,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
like
where
it
that.
came out of nowhere and had nothing to do with
Yeah,
anything.
I don't know where it fit in, and it felt like it was supposed to be like a figurative thing, like like
If you believe it, you can
believing you can
do
do
it.
anything, so you can fly, basically. But if it, like when she
Yeah,
sings, like she's already 3 feet off the ground, which I was like, oh,
yeah,
she must be really short, because that's like 1 meter barely.
yeah.
But I mean, it's all about yeah, being lighter than air, being able to fly. But yeah, then they literally fly. But they never use it to, like when they're escaping or anything. It's just in the 2 scenes where they first discover it, and the second one in the end.
When they make Veronicas believe it.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
it's
just
it's supposed to
visual,
be like a like a
it's a
yeah,
visual
like a
description of
visual
them.
cue that he's believing again.
Yeah.
But he is literally flying, because people are like, oh my god, he's flying.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What
it didn't
else
really
do
fit
you
in, but it
do?
was like,
It's just
it's a
weird.
kids movie. I don't really care about that. It's fine. I'll
I
give them that.
Well, I didn't go into it thinking a kids movie. I was going into it thinking a Christmas movie.
Okay, well I did too, but I figured out pretty fast that no, this is a kids Christmas movie.
But there wasn't a lot of Christmas in it either. I mean, it took
No,
place during Christmas, but it's not even like they were like making Geronica's have his Christmas feeling back or anything. It's not like he became like in Scrooge generous and started having the proper feelings, well, the proper Christmas spirit. No, they were
yeah,
just trying to save him.
yeah. The whole I think it could have been tied more to Christmas, other than yeah, just taking place during Christmas.
And them
Um,
mentioning Christmas morning or something.
yeah, but it did have the uh, not the children who stopped believing. Here was the grown-ups who stopped believing, but you have that people in disbelief, a collection of small miracles, and then one big miracle where they managed to escape the factory in the end, um, and kind of getting the toys back, getting Gustafson getting his
Everything
due
back.
diligence, getting everything back.
Yeah, but
It was the big Christmas miracle taking place on Christmas Day, or if it's Christmas Eve,
true.
I'm not sure. But
No, Christmas Day.
yeah, it's Christmas Day, and so I like that. But yes, it could have been tied more to actual Christmas, like they could have
I
just
don't
they
think
don't mention it, but I mean, I guess it's like subtext that he sells a lot of toys during Christmas, so Christmas is his favorite time of year or whatever.
yeah, but they could have mentioned it, like you said, and it maybe should have taken place a couple of days before then, more, so that it's tied into him trying to make sales for Christmas. But it's barely that. He's like introducing it as a new big toy, just not
Yeah,
even saying it's supposed to be the big Christmas present this year
yeah.
because he's introducing it on Christmas Eve.
I mean, in a way, I liked it. If to me, it felt Christmassy. I mean,
Yes,
it could have been more Christmassy, but it definitely had all the things I like in a Christmas movie.
except for Christmas.
What? Yeah, but there is Christmas. There is snow. There are several Christmas trees. People say Christmas. I guess the only thing missing was like Christmas dinner,
Spirit.
Christmas food. No, but the Christmas spirit was there. I think.
I didn't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I, I didn't like this movie, to be honest.
Well, you didn't like it at all.
Not really. I mean,
Like in general, it's like well, out of one 0 to 10, what would you rate it?
considering everything, because it was great acting,
Yeah.
amazing sets, and
Oh yeah.
cosmetic clothing and all that
Yeah.
wardrobe, gorgeous. So that gives it a big ass bonus. But the story was, like I said, lackluster, and
Sure.
I guess it's only the story, to be honest, that is kind of lackluster.
Yes, I mean, I think it's
I guess I'd give it like a 5, but that's because story does have the biggest part in how or why you would enjoy a movie. If
But
you don't
like,
like the story, then you're not gonna want to watch it.
sure, but I mean, if this wasn't a Christmas movie, would you have
I would
liked
have
it
liked it
more?
better.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
Well then,
probably. Still,
I
still a
can.
few things that need to be perfected, I guess, or changed at least.
Oh yeah, there's
It was still
definite
kind of
improvements you can
lackluster, not
make.
just in the Christmas department, but like in general. Like the big epic adventure of them going to get the robot still isn't a big epic adventure. It's literally them sneaking in through one tunnel, getting the thing and barely getting noticed, sneaking out, and then there was the fire.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that because right before,
Could have
like,
been more of a change. It could have been. It felt like that part took 10 minutes. I'm not sure how long it actually took, but it felt like 10 minutes.
yeah, and I agree because right before Buddy gets stolen, I did feel like when are we actually gonna get to the adventure part?
Yeah,
Because the movie felt like it's not gonna be like this nice Christmas story. Let's at least get some like kid friendly adventure out of it. But then we did get that. I was like, oh okay. Um, but then yeah, not much happens during that adventure. The big thing
no,
being them going down the tunnel on the sled or
on the
on the
box.
cart on the box. Yeah. Um, but I mean, yeah, more could be, and more could have happened. They could have like spied on Gustafsson and seen like him desperately trying to make the kids toys work. Something. But oh, they just go in there, grab it, and get out of there. Yeah,
And that part as well. Like Gustafson, steals the robot, and he takes one try and goes like, "Nah, it doesn't work. Fuck it."
yeah. Like,
He's like, "No, give it a shot. Maybe have someone else take a look at it. Maybe take it apart. Something." No,
yeah,
he's just like pressing in the battery, and it doesn't work.
yeah, and then
Add something to it.
and then it also feels like he was ready to trash it. So when they're like, "Oh my God, two kids are stealing the toy," and he's like, "I don't care. I was going to burn it anyway." Then they had to. Then they had the matador Don Juan saying like, "Oh, but if they want it back, maybe it actually works." So then it's like, there's also like it felt like that Don Juan character was put into the movie afterwards to like as like a Deus Ex Machina, like
Yeah.
pushing the plot forward where it had to because they kind of
Otherwise, it wouldn't
it would
just
yeah,
do anything.
which was kind of dumb. The whole Don Juan subplot, together with the Gustafsson being a villain subplot, does not work at all. This movie
No.
didn't need a villain. The villain was losing faith, losing your belief in miracles and Christmas and whatever. You did, and that's why Gustafsson is barely in the movie, and he's barely a bad guy. He should have been the one like buying up the store out of spite, and he should have like been mad at Veronicus in the beginning for not helping him, which he kind of is.
But he's
But
not expressing it.
he's not expressing it. Don Juan tells him that he should take it for himself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Certain things about this story. I mean, the general idea of it, sure, it works, but you need to flesh it out. You need to give it more detail in certain aspects.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Like
I agree. I
give it a
agree
bit
with that part.
more. It's an okay story. I get the point. It's fine, but doesn't really bring out that like oomph. It needs some sparkles.
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree with that part. But then when the movie was almost over, um, I I did catch myself like I don't saying to myself, or at least thinking to myself, like the movie was better than the sum of its parts. Because when it was over, I was like, I still enjoyed it. Overall, I thought it worked. But yeah, I could nitpick apart, like, didn't like the songs, but that's just me. Yeah, the story is all over the place. Bunch of stuff that wasn't necessary. And yeah, the fact that the movie feels huge at some points, but then when it actually gets to, like, using the scope of the movie, it feels very contained, that's kind of a problem with a lot of Netflix movies. I think that's maybe just a byproduct of you watching it at home. Like, this would have been like amazing to watch in a theater, which might never be a thing again, but we'll see about that. We could talk about that in the end.
I don't think seeing it in a movie theater would have helped much.
No, but it would
However,
have felt the
seeing it
scope
as
of the movie.
yeah, maybe, but seeing it as a Broadway musical would have been awesome.
I gotta ask you about that because I read some trivia, and they mentioned a musical. I was like, is this based on a musical or like a book or something? But it isn't, right?
No, not that I know.
It's said somewhere like, oh, this actress was replaced by
No,
the
no,
one.
no. Three Dreamgirls alums,
Yeah.
Dreamgirls the musical, are in this movie. All three of them have been in the Dreamgirls Broadway production.
Oh, okay.
That's the only yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of them might have been from West End, but musicals. So that's
Right.
the only connection it actually has to Broadway or that kind of musical, except for the fact that it looks like it extremely. Like even the sets and the way that the people start dancing together, it's extremely similar to how you would set it up in a Broadway musical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a musical. That's why it
Yeah,
looks
but
like a musical.
I mean,
I mean,
comparing it to
musicals do look, unless they're Disney movies, which aren't musicals in the same way because they don't have musical numbers. Musicals, even on stage or on screen, they look a certain way. I mean,
yeah, but compare. I'm gonna compare it to a Disney musical, Beauty and the Beast.
No, you can't do that because it's not the same thing. Disney musicals don't have like the dance numbers, like dancing and singing isn't staged the same way in a Disney movie. I mean, it is sort of, but it's different. I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking specifically of Tarzan. There, they never have an actual musical number. You just have the music in the background. But like thinking of like
Well, you do have one in the cartoon.
Huh?
They play the instruments and sing in the
Oh, sure,
cab.
yeah. But I'm thinking like
I'm
the
having a hard time
colors
coming up with
of the wind in Pocahontas. It's not like a
Yeah,
big
no,
dance
it's
number.
not.
It's different.
Well, yeah, but
Sometimes you have like classic musical numbers. Sure, like in Beauty and the Beast, you sort of have it.
yeah, and Be My
The,
Guest. I mean, that's a
yeah, and the
that's
Gaston
choreographed.
song.
Yeah,
But
Jesus.
overall, I think Disney musicals and musicals in general are different. But I mean, but if you compare this to, I haven't seen a musical in years. I think the last one I saw was La La Land, but that also has like these weird dance numbers just shoved into the movie. Those are better, but
Yeah, that's a good example though, because La La Land, there's a difference between how they, in a movie, incorporate the dancing and the music and the singing, even though it is a way to express the emotions and convey a conversation or just a happening, sort of. While in this one, it's literally more or less that they stop and turn to the audience and just sing towards them like they do on Broadway.
yeah, but
Like specifically the first couple of scenes when the young Euronymous and his family is outside in the town square.
yeah.
Every single extra lines up, faces the audience, the camera, has the specific dance. Everyone is dancing the exact same way, just like they do
But
when you watch a musical on Broadway.
but they do that in La La Land as well. The opening number in La La Land is like that.
Yeah, but in this one they do it all the time.
Yeah, yeah. La La Land is an La La Land. Okay, okay. Have you seen the Rent movie? The Rent movie version of Rent.
But
Same
that
thing.
is based on a Broadway musical.
Yeah, but they were
So
making a musical here. They probably wanted it to be a Broadway musical, but Netflix picked it up.
Using what they use as a trivia. Dreamgirls. Have you seen the Dreamgirls movie adaptation?
No.
With Beyonce and
No,
I don't
Jennifer
remember
Hudson.
the other name. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I haven't.
That is not a musical as in a Broadway musical. That is a musical movie.
Yeah.
Where they have the singing being, again, the conversation being the way they portray their emotions and carry on the story.
Sure.
But it's not staged.
No, but this is
Close.
this is a musical more than a movie.
Oh, it's Dreamgirls. It's called Dreamgirls the musical.
Yeah, but I mean, they're actually staging it as a stage play, as a
I didn't like
musical
that.
stage play. No,
I didn't like that.
but I mean, that's what they
Would've
wanted to
worked
do, obviously.
if you saw it on Broadway then, but it doesn't work in a movie setting when you watch it on your tiny screen and the music isn't live.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it would have been on a big screen or live, it would have been better.
Yeah.
Because
and then I can expect the limitations within the action and the story, sort of. Okay,
Yeah.
not the flying part, because that would have been more than, that's not a limitation. That's a bonus, I guess. But like the big adventure being just a sneaky trip into the factory and then out. That is something you can't really make much bigger on Broadway, because you're limited to a stage. You're limited to what physically is possible. While in a movie setting, you can CGI it, green screen it.
But
they could have taken advantage of that being something that you can do with movie. You can do movie magic and actually make it bigger and better and bolder. Here they wrote a Broadway script and limited themselves to stage, but filmed it instead. It's a shame, because that would have elaborated the movie and made it more fantastical and more I guess, if they had used the fact that they are making a movie, an actual movie, and not a Broadway musical.
I guess that wasn't the problem for me.
Well, it bothered me because I wanted more. I didn't want to watch a Broadway musical.
I'm just making noises, but yeah, that didn't bother me. The scope, the scope of the musical numbers didn't bother me, or the fact that it was super staged, because I was just like, oh, they're making a musical. It was the other things that bothered me, but ultimately, I thought when the movie was over, I was like, I liked it. It wasn't great. I mean, I might watch it again, maybe some Christmas. I mean, I definitely liked it more than Christmas Chronicles 2. Definitely.
I'm gonna go opposite there.
No.
Yes.
It was so, I don't know.
Considering this is supposed to be a Christmas movie, I would not watch this again for Christmas. If they would have made this take place in like summer, sure. That would have been better.
I don't
know. I cannot grant this as a Christmas story. I just can't.
Sure. I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it, because like I said, I didn't all the different parts of the movie was very flawed, but ultimately when the credits rolled, I was like, fine.
I say opposite. I like if the separate parts in themselves were good. Like I said, settings and the costumes, everything was awesome. It was beautiful.
I like those parts of it. Everything looked beautiful, like that. Sure.
But just sitting there and trying to watch the movie and trying to enjoy it and follow on with the story, expecting a Christmas movie. Okay, the music, I could get over the fact that it was a musical eventually, but in the beginning, the first 3 numbers, I was like, God damn, are they singing again?
Well, you did exaggerate a little bit. You said, "Oh, there's been 3 musical numbers in the first 15 minutes."
Yeah, okay.
And there's I actually looked. I made a note of that, so I looked, and after the first 18 minutes, there had only been 2. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. You were overwhelmed.
I did say that because I was watching it with my boyfriend. I did say it at the end of the movie. I was like, okay, wait, it had been about 30 minutes when I said it was 10, but you know. Because that's the thing as well. It kind of felt like nothing happened for a very long time. It was very slow.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Watching it for hours and hours and hours, and they had come, and still, like, just half the movie had passed by, technically.
Like, I can agree with that. And the movie was super long. And, I mean, when they got Buddy back from Gustafson's factory, there was almost 40 minutes left of the movie, and I was like, what? This was supposed to be the end.
Yeah, but that part felt quick. Everything up until the factory felt like it took 3 hours or
Yeah, but I mean,
5 hours.
yeah, but
But then the last part was like, oh, 10 minutes and it's over.
oh no, I mean, yeah, but it felt very long. Like before the movie properly started, before Journey got to Jangles and Things, the toy store
Yeah.
or the pawn shop, it was an hour almost, and all that
Yeah.
was backstory to set up the characters. It was front loaded. It's called front loaded with exposition. Instead of doling it out piece by piece during the movie, you just get, here's everything you need to know, and now start the movie. That felt, the first hour was like, for me, it was boring.
It didn't help that they added the element of it being like a story told by
Oh yeah.
Journey. I guess it was.
Yeah, it was told by Journey, and that one I usually say that I'm bad at figuring stuff out like that. I knew from the fucking first second, like, oh, this is the one, the grandma telling the story. She is the kid. And first I thought it was Veronica's kid, but then she grew up, and I was like, okay, so it's Veronica's grandkid.
Yeah,
Fine, I get it.
That's
I
what
know.
I was saying as well.
And the two kids playing her grandchildren were terrible. Yeah. They were so bad.
But I do think that this was their first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the actors, the younger actors, was their first acting role, like proper movie acting role.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they're like dance kids, because I mean, there's a lot of dancing in
like musical theater kids.
Yeah, at least the girl who played Journey, Madeline Mills, she could dance, so she's probably coming from dance theater, dance thing, whatever. So
yeah, she is because she's done not a lot on like actually acting. This was her first one, and she's doing another one that is in post-production already.
Okay, yeah.
But she's been in a lot of things. Well, it's mostly during 2020, so it might just be about Jingle Jangle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
but it seems like she's been doing a lot of stuff before that, and she's been in like School of Rock productions, I think.
No, she's only acted in one thing. It's this.
No, but like in musical theater, I think.
Oh yeah, but I mean here movie wise, she's only done this.
Yeah.
Every other credit she has is like interviews.
Like yeah, but if you look at her pictures on IMDb, you can see that she's been in. I think she's been in The Grinch, and in School of Rock, and.
Oh yeah, Grinch. Well, yeah, Grinch tour November 2017. Yeah. Oh, School of Rock, yeah. Else. Yeah, School of Rock on Broadway, so, yeah.
I'm guessing most of them are just like they're musical kids.
Yes. Sure. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Which could explain that some of I'm not gonna say that all of their acting was bad, but some of them weren't amazing yet. But still, I mean, they're young. They're like what?
I think everyone except for the grandkids in the beginning, the whole storytelling part, they were bad. And I thought the what's the little kid, the nerdy kid, Edison, he was bad.
Yeah,
but he felt like a character, like I am the goofy inventor.
Yeah, but this is also the only thing ever, I think.
Yeah, but it kind of reminded me of the stereotype nerdy kid from Christmas Chronicles 2.
Oh yeah,
and also the fact that it's a black kid. Like, why are they making nerdy black kids? What's the thing here? why is there a theme here on Netflix this year? Nerdy black kids, all right. But going back to like the sum of its parts, I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, maybe I won't watch it again. I actually, like, now saying it out loud, yeah, maybe I won't. But I didn't hate it. I think I liked it more than Christmas Chronicles 2. They both suffered from the same things. They suffered from pacing issues and like storytelling issues. But this one had like great set design. And
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
and great costumes and all that. Um,
And even like
and
the part where
it didn't have any cringy parts. I didn't cringe like I did in the beginning of Christmas
no.
Chronicles 2. So
And both loved and hated, I should say, the parts where the set turned into dolls.
yeah, those were cool.
They were cool.
Bad. It was sad that it wasn't real dolls.
Yeah.
Real dolls, actual dolls.
Like stop motion style.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that's a big.
They could have used that.
Yeah, and that was also a big thing about Gustafson's factory. It's actually filmed in a real, not functioning factory, but in like the world's largest. It's said somewhere. Here, the location used for Gustafson's factory is the site of the largest operating rotative beam steam engine in the world. And you see some of that. They run around some of the pistons and stuff, which is kind of cool. It was, but I would have liked to see more of that because they were in an actual like steampunky factory. So why didn't we get to see more of that? That's kind of sad.
Again, that would have fleshed out the adventure part of it. Would have made it. Yeah, made more interesting, and they could have taken advantage of the fact that they had a really awesome set for that.
And that's also, like I said, like the movie just doesn't actually start until after the first hour. That's kind of why it feels so long. Like nothing happens because the actual story is just that middle like 35-minute chunk, and then you have the drawn out ending and the first hour, which feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
So this could have been a really tight 90-minute Christmas story if they had just doled out the backstory throughout, like us finding out with Journey what happened to her grandpa. But you know, I guess that's not how the 3-act structure is a thing of the past. So I don't know.
Even if they wanted to have the storytelling bit, you could have still just made it like Jessica telling her daughter Journey what happened and why she and Grandpa isn't talking much anymore.
Yeah.
Instead of adding on the I guess present with the grandkids and the grandma opening the magical book that had fairy dust coming off it when she
that whole thing. Yeah, you should have made Jessica a bigger part of the story. Because that was
Jessica.
literally what the
adult Jessica.
Yeah, adult Jessica, yeah. Because that's literally what the magic was. That, you know, there was his family, there was the magic. And there's not really, they don't really give a good enough reason for them to like be estranged. Like, oh, he stopped caring about her because he was sad.
He like sent her away.
Yeah, it's like, why? We don't really get we get a why. It's because he's sad, but
so he doesn't feel like he can take care of her.
Yeah, but then that's like wait, okay, that's why. But we need an actual why, not just a literal why, but why. Sure, he was sad and all, but it should have been.
That's not enough to send your kid away.
No, yeah, exactly.
He wasn't even poor yet.
Yeah, it was just for story convenience.
No, it didn't work.
No, that's what I mean. It's just, we need to get his daughter away. Oh, well, he was sad, so she went away. Oh, we need Gustafson to actually have a reason to steal the things. Oh, the Matador doll wants him to do it. All of these conveniences added in.
Convinced him. It was just like he told him once, and like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And other things they didn't like flesh out either was the Journey. They kind of brushed over the fact that Journey wrote the letters to both her mother and her grandfather.
She did?
Yeah, and then they responded to each other's letters.
Okay, I missed that part.
They could actually go there.
Okay, I completely missed that part.
No, wait, sorry. I'm even saying it wrong. Because Journey forged the letter from her grandfather to her mother. Her mother then agreed to send her to Geronica's. And when Journey... Jessica didn't even check with the Veronicas. Like, okay, so I'm sending her over these dates. Is that okay? No. She was like, okay, you want her to come over for Christmas? I'll send her over. And then
But
Journey reads a letter that she wrote, saying that her mother's like okay with all this, and I'll come pick her up on Christmas morning. They didn't write. None of them wrote any
are you
letters.
sure? When did
That's
they
how
they say that? Because her mother doesn't go there on Christmas morning to
Yeah,
pick
but
her up.
that's because they probably Jessica and Journey probably agreed on that. Like, I'll come pick you up on Christmas morning. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
Journey does
I have
say-
no
don't
idea what
remember
you're
when
talking
she
about,
says-
but sure.
I don't know when she says it, but god damn it. But Journey tells Veronicas that I forged a letter from you.
When?
I don't remember when, but she says it. Sometime.
No, she signs the blueprint for Buddy. That's the only.
Yeah, but that too.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
I think she mentions it like just before Buddy gets stolen or something, or just after Buddy got stolen, something around there. See, it's brushed over so much that you don't even notice it.
Yeah, so but that wasn't a problem for me then.
No, but it would have added to the story of the estranged relationship between Jessica and Veronica's.
Oh, sure.
Given it more substance.
Sure. I'll agree to that.
It has.
Yeah,
it has a basic okay like story, but it's so plain.
Plain?
It doesn't. Well, not plain. I'm trying to find a good word.
Yeah.
It's just
plain is the wrong word.
empty almost.
Yeah.
There's no
There's a lot of
detail,
dead air.
Yeah.
Or it feels like there's a lot of dead air because it takes a lot of time to get to where they want to go. And I'm not sure what takes up the time. Now I'm thinking about it, like, what was it that took 2 hours to tell us? I don't know.
What actually happened? Except for him like complaining, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I'm not giving this story-wise. Sorry, this is not, first of all, not a Christmas movie according to me, and second of all, I'm not gonna watch it again. I didn't like it.
Mm.
It was just meh.
I'm having a crisis of conscience here.
I think I've convinced you as well.
Yeah, because when the credits rolled, I was like, that was fine. I mean, like I said, it was fine. I'm not calling this a masterpiece or anything, but it was like, it was fine. But now going through it, it was like, one was actually good about it. The little parts about it was good.
It could have been more like, I haven't seen the entire movie, but the newest production of Annie. Have you seen that one with
Black Annie?
Yeah, Black Annie.
Oh, that's not new. It's like from 2009, isn't it? Or is there another one? Because they made an Annie from like 2009, which was a movie, musical movie. And that was
2014. 2014 is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, maybe that. Because I'm thinking about a Red Letter Media joke or a Mr. Plinkett joke when he says Black Annie, and I think that's from 2009. Maybe I'm misremembering.
This one is the one with Jamie Foxx being the rich guy, and Cameron Diaz.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's the one I remember. I just thought it was 2009. Because I mixed it up with the Sony hack that happened in 2009.
Oh yeah.
But there was a Sony hack from 2013 as well, where they talked about Black Annie, right? I know I haven't seen that one, but
Annie is also a musical.
Oh yeah, the original, yeah.
But no, this movie as well with Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a musical as well. Soundtrack is amazing.
But
This is a better way to portray a musical. Again, I'm just going on a tangent about that shit because I didn't like that it made it like a Broadway musical. They could have made it like a musical movie. Stop.
That's the least of the problems with this movie.
No, that bothered me a lot.
Anyway.
I just wanted to mention it because that's again is a good what's it called?
I don't know.
Portration?
Portrayal.
Yeah, that's the word.
Portrayal of a musical on
the screen.
in a movie. Yeah.
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 And it would have been, that doesn't take place in like Christmas or anything, but it has that sort of Christmas miracle feel to it.
Oh, but you can't say that because this has a Christmas miracle and takes place during Christmas. No. Shut up. You can't say that Annie that takes place in the summer and has a miracle in the end is more Christmassy than a movie that takes place in the winter during Christmas and has a big miracle in the end is more Christmassy.
Okay,
I can't hear you.
No, my mic is cutting me out because I'm too loud. What's the miracle in Jingle Jangle?
That he believes again. He can actually make the toys come alive.
But what does that have to do with Christmas?
Nothing. Just as the miracle in Annie doesn't have anything to do with Christmas.
Oh, but this one they're trying to portray it as a Christmas miracle, but it's not. It's just a miracle.
Well, if one miracle is not Christmassy and takes place in the summer, and one miracle is not Christmassy but takes place during Christmas, which one is more Christmassy? I gotta call you out. Now you're just being obstinate. You can't say that Annie is more Christmassy than Jingle Jangle.
I'm not saying that it is more Christmassy. I'm saying that the miracle feels more Christmassy because it's more of a. It's more of a miracle, to be honest. Him just starting to believe again because his estranged granddaughter kind of makes him happy. Yeah.
No, but he has to believe to save her life during the fire. That's when he starts. He even when he sees the numbers again. Oh shit, they're back, and he starts writing the math.
It didn't make it big enough for it to be. I just don't.
You're nitpicking here a little bit. I gotta say, I agree with you on a lot of, but that's nitpicking.
They could have made it grander, and I would have accepted it.
Oh sure, but it's still more than Annie.
That was a bad example. Yeah, whatever.
Like
I'm not gonna call this a Christmas movie.
When
the fact that it has Christmas in the title and it takes place during Christmas.
When Jables and Rage Cage defeat the devil in the end with their music, that was a better Christmas miracle than Jingle Jangle. No, come on, you can't say that.
No, I'm not.
I love that movie, but that's not a Christmas miracle.
No.
Sorry. Anyway. That was for anyone who wanted. I was referencing Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, which is, by the way, the greatest musical ever made, on stage or in movies. I don't, for me at least.
It's definitely way up there. It's really good.
Yeah. But that's just because
I'll give it the greatest.
I'm a Tenacious D fan since like fucking the HBO show was on like in the late 90s or something. Anyway, or like early 2000s. Back to Jingle Jangle. You have not convinced me, but I have, like, during this discussion, yeah, I agree, like I probably will watch it again. I don't think it was terrible. It was fine. But yeah, it had a lot of problems, and ultimately
it needs a bit like some tinsel and some sparkles and some Christmas presents, and I'll give it 1 point up.
Sure.
For a Christmas movie.
But I don't know how much we want to get into the socio-political aspect of the movie, because it's gotten pretty good reviews.
Well,
and I'm not saying it's because, but
we've discussed it as a movie. We haven't discussed anything about the color of the people.
Oh my god!
I say it, because that's even one part of the trivia. Did you read that on
Oh
IMDb?
yeah.
That all of the shops in Cobbleton are named after historical African American inventors, not investors.
Yeah,
inventors.
Yeah, I did read that, because I read the trivia like halfway through the movie. I started like moving my attention to my phone a little bit and reading the trivia, and I tried to like look at some of the stores I think I saw one name. I didn't recognize the name, but I saw one name. I, like,
I didn't read a single name.
But I got it. That was also, I guess, I was expecting this to be like super woke, the bad kind of like the fake woke,
Like in
and having like Whitey being the bad guy and all that.
Like we mentioned in Vampires versus the Bronx.
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly. That movie was so the bad kind of woke, the virtue signaling woke. This wasn't at all.
No,
and
no.
And
I didn't even think about it in that way. Like,
exactly, because it wasn't a thing. It was just they were just people, all of them. I got a little nervous when they were arresting Geronicus in the end. I was like, oh shit, here we go. But no, they listened to him.
White, right?
Yep. Oh well, one of them was.
Okay, one of them.
Pretty sure that was deliberate as well. Like, we're gonna have one of each. Don't worry.
Because they did have one white character.
Yeah, the banking guy, Delacroix, as they called him.
Yeah.
Hugh Bonneville, who was a good actor. Yeah. Good actor. He was barely in the movie.
Yeah, he had like 2 tiny scenes.
Yeah. And even that, it wasn't like, oh, the bank's stealing the black man's money. It was nothing like that. It was all very it was all very colorblind in a good way. There are bad ways to be colorblind, but this was a good way to be colorblind. And I mean, almost a little too, no, not too much colorblindness, but the fact that he took a loan, he takes a loan early in the movie, which they also just rush past, and then we find out that he hasn't made a single like payment in 30 years, because he's like, I'm gonna show you my invention that this was an investment into, and they're like waiting for 30 years. I was like, that's not how a bank works. You need to show something along the way, but that's beside the point because it's a kids movie. They don't know how banks work. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It was just something I noticed. When he said, I was like, 30 years? How is this man not in prison or like in personal bankruptcy yet? I mean,
just living on the street.
Yeah, he does almost goes into bankruptcy in the end, but anyway.
They solved it pretty quickly.
It would have gone faster than 30 years in real life. But anyway. So I liked that the movie didn't make a thing out of like...
Definitely, yeah.
The people's skin color. They were just people. Everyone was just people, and I like that.
I'm just skimming through all the reviews on IMDb. The
professional reviews.
No.
Oh, the user reviews. I haven't read those.
Yeah. Like most of the ones I've scrolled through, I haven't scrolled through a lot of them, but they're like 9 or 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, oh, it's magical and the songs are amazing and it looks amazing. It's like, yeah. Really?
Well,
great storyline. Says someone's like, no.
But that's the thing with musicals. Musicals are like they're like the Transformers movies. People get blinded in Transformers. It's the explosions. In musicals, it's the musical numbers. Like.
Yeah, because a lot of the reviews are saying like the Broadway on TV, awesome.
Yeah, it's like fucking Les Miserables. The movie was nominated for movie of the year or best movie of the year, whatever it's called, the Academy Award. And it's like, that movie's fucking terrible. Oh, but the songs are good. Yeah, that doesn't matter. The movie's terrible.
Yeah, because the songs weren't written for the movie. They were written for the Broadway musical.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the same thing, like, oh, the songs are great because they're singing and dancing. Like, no. Stop using the lizard brain. Actually look at the movie. It's bad. Or it's mediocre.
Yeah.
That's
actually someone put a very good summary here. He's given it I'm guessing someone. They have given it a 3 out of 10.
Okay, that's a little harsh.
This is a jumble of movies you've already seen. It's Wonder Emporium meets Short Circuit meets Christmas Carol meets Polar Express.
Sure.
It's actually kind of a good description.
That is a good description.
Beautiful sets and a good cast, but it's just a thrown together fruitcake of played out themes.
Hey, fruitcake is Christmas though, so I'm kidding. But let's read some of the.
And someone said something about like it's okay, but the kids fell asleep.
Okay, that's bad because it's a kids movie, but yeah, it's too long. Don't make a kids movie 2 hours long. A kids movie should
can't focus for that long.
Yeah, a kids movie should be an hour and a half, at most. Kids are like ADHD people. They can't focus. Anyway, Sorry.
Oh, did John Legend produce this? I missed that.
That was also a thing. Like in the trailer, like, oh, music and lyrics written by John Legend. But then when you look in the credits, he's third credited as writing the songs, so he wrote them with people. He was still involved, but this wasn't like the John Legend movie.
No.
But he was the most famous of the songwriters, so they picked his name, of course. That's good marketing.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't watch any trailers or read anything about it until after, so.
Oh, okay, I saw one trailer. But let's read some professional reviews here. The best it got was from Los Angeles Times. It got a 9 out of 10 from Gary Goldstein, whoever that is. Writer-director David E. Talbert's marvelous, groundbreaking musical fantasy, Jingle Jangle, stands to join the ranks of holiday movie classics. Smartly conceived, lovingly mounted, and beautifully performed, this Victorian-era set extravaganza nearly sings out to be enjoyed as a communal big-screen experience. But, okay, first of all, that's subjective. Every review is subjective. You can't make objective. But I can't point out here where he's objectively wrong. It's not a big screen experience. This was not shown in theaters, or was it?
No.
No, it was just Netflix, right?
So.
Maybe they had like a screening for
Let me see.
critics. So
release dates, internet.
Yeah, it's just Netflix.
It's all internet.
So he's lying. So he's lying. Disallowed. His doesn't count. Next one, Entertainment Weekly. Leah Greenblatt's. I don't recognize her now. Whatever. 83 out of 100, or I guess 8 out of 10. In a year short on so many of those things. What things? Oh, I guess it's just an excerpt. Yeah, it's just an excerpt. Jangle feels like finding something sweetly familiar but also new, finally under the tree. I mean, yeah, if we're gonna count if we're gonna look at it like, if we're gonna look at all the new Christmas movies that have come out this year, 9 out of 10 are Hallmark trash.
Well,
like
yeah, but
Holiday
that's like every year.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but like Holiday and Christmas Drop, Operation Christmas Drop, or whatever. Even that movie, what's it called? It's on Hulu with Kristen Stewart.
That one. That one looks good though.
The greatest season or something. It's an excerpt from a lyric, I think. It's not the jolliest season, but it's the greatest season something. The rom-com, which I've heard is like, it's a bog standard rom-com. The only thing that sticks out is, oh, they're lesbians. Like, yeah, but
Happiest season.
Right? Yeah. Happy season.
It looks awesome though.
I still want to watch it, because I like sappy rom-coms during Christmas. Like, one of my favorite Christmas movies is The Holiday, so I still want to watch it. But I've heard it's just a regular rom-com, and people are like praising it because the thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't say it's bad, because then you're homophobic. So it's getting those vibes from some of the reviews, but then some of the more honest are just saying like, yeah, it's just a rom-com. Like, oh no, you gotta show your parents your new girlfriend. Like, they're gonna be disapproving either way. That's always what happens in rom-coms. They hate your new girlfriend or boyfriend.
It's the Family Stone gone lesbian.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Jingle Jangle. People let's see. I know Helen O'Hara. Here's one. I know Helen O'Hara. She writes for Empire, among some other. She writes. She makes good reviews, and she gave it 6 out of 10. That's not just why I like her, but I like her overall. It's silly and a little too slow. Yes.
That's what we've been saying.
I don't know if it's silly, but definitely too slow.
It's a bit silly with the flying, I guess. But the characters are enormously charming. Sure. And the design is overwhelmingly sumptuous. Yes, the design is amazing. Yes.
It should give viewers, especially children, a welcome hit of Christmas magic. Yeah, and I think that is also a thing. This is one of those movies that is mainly made for kids, other than the runtime. And I guess that's why we're not really loving it as much, because there's kid movies that are made for kids and grown-ups, and then there are kids movies that are just made for kids. And I think this is one of those. Because
my mic didn't pick that up. I said, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. My go-to is always Shrek. That's a kids movie that's made for grown-ups as well. And those are the best ones, when everyone can enjoy it. But I think kids probably enjoy this more than we would. Like 7 to 10 or whatever. I don't know. Maybe after when you're like 12, 13, you're going to say, oh, it's lame.
Probably,
I want to watch BMX movies or I don't know.
No, but then this kind of magic isn't something you still believe in, I guess.
You should be in the same age range as Edison and Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 9, 10 there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway. I guess that's God damn it, Netflix. You're ruining everything. Like every Netflix movie we've talked about this year have been like it's ranged from meh to bad.
Yeah.
I think the best one we've talked about, and I think the best Netflix movie I've seen this year is Enola Holmes. That was pretty good. But it was still like a strong 6 out of 10.
I think it has to do. We mentioned it a lot when we talked about Rosemary's Baby. The production behind it all, like the production company. I mean, not the production as in what they actually do on set, but the production company is more into just pumping out mediocre movies to try and get views, trying to get money, instead of actually putting time and money into one big project and making it fantastic.
Yeah.
They're not making art, they're making media, I guess. Or just money.
Yeah, sure.
Enola Holmes seemed like it was a bigger production, something they added more time and money to, more love into making it art.
And they had a good director.
Yeah, this guy was okay, but I don't know, what has he done before?
Not much. I'm guessing he has worked in musical theater also, because I think this is like his only movie. Oh, he's written some. I mean, I haven't seen them, but they look like Hallmark trash.
What does video mean? Is it just like a short or like a music
video? Could be like a TV movie or just released directly to DVD.
Because he's done a lot of video.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done a lot of anything else.
No, I mean, he's written like... I haven't seen it, but just looking at the movie First Sunday with Cat Williams looks terrible. And the Almost Christmas movie looks like a typical Hallmark Christmas movie. So, yeah, I don't know.
That one.
Oh, there was. Yeah. He has made one other Netflix movie, which was El Camino Christmas.
That one sucks.
Oh, it does. Oh, damn it!
No, it doesn't suck, but it's not great.
I remember watching the trailer for that. It came out like 3 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't even see it on this list.
He didn't write it. He just directed it.
Right.
2017, right? And I remember watching the trailer for that. I was like, I'm gonna watch that. Never did. But then yesterday when I saw that, he made El Camino Christmas. I gotta watch that movie. But so now maybe I shouldn't.
No, you could watch it. It's not that bad. I don't remember it as being amazing.
Okay, no, I'm not expecting it to be amazing.
And it's a completely different tone than Jingle Jangle. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think the director ruined it. I don't think the acting has ruined it or anything like that. I think just I'm sorry, but the writing is probably the part that could have been.
The director did write it. I was going to say that. The dialogue is terrible sometimes. Especially the lyrics for Today is the Day. It was like, what are you saying? It actually reminded me of it actually reminded me of Les Miserables when he says the song where he has, I don't remember.
When
he's the son I would have had if God would have given me a son.
Yeah,
it's so retarded. It's like, dumbass, he didn't give you a son. It's anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all in all, let's wrap it up here. All in all,
Yeah.
maybe I'll have to watch it again. But I did feel, like I've said a couple of times now, when the credits rolled, I was like, that was fine. I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad, but I was like, I'm never watching this again.
Maybe.
I'm not putting myself through 2 hours of this again.
No, that's the biggest detriment. The runtime.
I probably would have been more fine with it if it was a bit shorter, like 30 minutes shorter. Like, give it a 140, like a regular movie, instead of 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Then it probably would have been more tolerable, even more enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've been
rambling on for quite a while.
I wanted to. Speaking of movies kind of losing their charm when you're watching them on a smaller screen. I don't know if we maybe should say that, but you've heard the news, right? That Warner Brothers is putting out every 2021 movie on HBO Max next year, or 2021. Yeah,
not heard that yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, let's just see.
Can we get HBO Max?
Nope. That's
great.
a big problem. So maybe
let's move to America. Just for HBO Max.
maybe we can quickly just get your opinion on it. Maybe I'll elaborate in another episode. But I've been dying to talk about it. Every movie that Warner Brothers is putting out next year, like their big projects, is coming simultaneously. They're still going to be shown in theaters, but they're coming the same day they're going to be on HBO Max. So we're talking Matrix 4, Kong versus Godzilla, or whatever it's called. Oh, damn it. What else was it? A bunch of movies.
For people only listening, I just made very big, surprised expressions. Because what?
Yeah.
Why would they First of all, why would they release them on the same day online? Like, they're gonna kill the movie theater industry. Like, who's gonna go see it in theaters if it's available? I mean, okay, in America. Who's gonna go see it in America in theaters if it's available on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Because you pay what? $10 a month for that,
but you're probably gonna pay extra for the movies.
Okay, fine, but
because
still,
otherwise it would ruin them financially. Here it is. Let's just quickly read it. Warner Bros. Has announced plans to home release some of its biggest films due to come out in 2021. When was this written? 3rd of December. Okay. Which means you will be able to stream them from the comfort of blah blah blah. We get that. Keep in mind, Warner Bros. Recently announced the highly anticipated Wonder Woman in 1984, which is going to premiere on HBO Max.
Come on.
No, and in theaters on the same day, 25th of December, due to COVID-19 pandemic. Here it is. Now the studios have announced plans for 17 additional blockbusters scheduled to premiere in 2021. Let's see can we get the fucking list? Here we go. Suicide Squad, feels like the third remake of a Suicide Squad movie.
Is it a remake? I thought it was a sequel.
No, but it's like a soft reboot because it's not Suicide Squad 2. It's just another Suicide Squad movie because you had the first one and then it did Birds of Prey, which was kind of it's another technically a sequel, but not really. And then this one is just called The Suicide Squad again. Anyway,
is it any of the same characters?
Yes. Okay. But they've expanded with a lot of new ones as well. Anyway, Matrix 4, Dune, the most expensive movie in movie history. Godzilla vs. Kong.
No, go on.
I didn't even know they were still making that. Space Jam 2 or Space Jam: A New Legacy. Okay.
Really?
The proper third Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Okay.
Oh, this one I didn't know. The Many Saints of Newark, which is a prequel to The Sopranos. Okay, whatever.
I never heard of that.
In the Heights, Judas and the Black Messiah. The Mortal Kombat reboot. Tom and Jerry is coming out. King Richard. What? I don't know what that is. Okay, but the big ones are Dune, Godzilla, Matrix, I guess Space Jam. Yeah, all of those are being released simultaneously in theaters and on
HBO Max.
home media. Yeah, HBO Max. And some
I mean,
people,
I get it, but
yeah, I get it. Ooh, okay. Here it actually says, if you look at the trailer, it says in theaters and on HBO Max. This is just the HBO Max trailer thing. It's not in the. No extra cost is to subscribers. So if you just subscribe to HBO Max, you get the movies.
Yeah, they're gonna take a big L on that one.
It feels like it. And I know I talked with Martin. We recently made. Hey, now I can plug the Patreon. We recently made a Patreon exclusive episode of the SpoilerCast where we talked about Onibaba, a Japanese classic. You could check that out on Patreon. There's a like a sneak preview for free on YouTube. But if you want to hear the whole discussion, it's on Patreon. $3 a month. Anyway, where was I?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we talked about that before we started recording. We talked about it, and he was saying that he liked the idea, and I'm torn about it. Like, I get it, because they're afraid people won't go to the theaters. Like, even if we have working vaccine, because now it seems the vaccine that they were like trying on, everyone was saying like, oh yeah, we can do it, we can take it now. It's turned out it had some side effects on some people.
Allergic reactions. So
right, allergic reactions.
On it, apparently.
Yeah. So even if we have a working vaccine, like, not everyone.
The culture has changed. Not everyone is gonna go to movie theaters anymore. Not everyone's gonna. I mean, online shopping is gonna skyrocket even more because people don't want to go to stores anymore, even when you have all the protection, even if you have the vaccine.
Yeah.
The culture has changed, of course, but don't kill the movie industry for that.
No, but I guess that's why they're putting it out at the same time. But yeah, that is going to.
That's going to make a big impact on the movie theater industry.
The theaters won't make any money.
No.
Or make very little money.
Just look at like what happened to DVDs and Blu-rays when Netflix and all that stuff came about.
Yeah.
No one buys it anymore.
Yeah, physical media is dying, except for me. Yeah, I know. And
releasing premieres on the same day online is going to do the same thing to movie theaters as it did to DVDs.
Yeah, and I get it, but I also think that some movies should be watched in the theaters. Like we said with this one, I think it would have helped if you watched this on a big screen.
Probably, and I mean, I'm not gonna see Doom off the big screen.
Dune,
yeah. What did I say?
You said Doom.
Oh.
Yeah, don't watch that on a big screen. It's a terrible movie. Good video game, but terrible movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dune is made for the big screen. I mean, you have to see it in IMAX to get the full experience.
Yeah, and it's even like I saw Jay Bauman from Red Letter Media, he was happy. He was happy over the news. I guess he's mostly happy that people got so angry about it because he is a little bit of a troll, at least on Twitter. And I know they have both him and Mike from Red Letter Media have discussed the fact that they hate going to the theaters, but that's when people talk about bad theater experiences, I've never really had a really bad. I mean, I guess once or twice when you watch horror movies, but that's because it's a bunch of teenagers screaming. But I've never had like the obnoxious guy talking next to me, or like coughing in my ear, or people talking about like people like literally like farting in the theater. Like, I've never had a bad experience like that. So I don't want theaters to die.
No, I think the only thing close to that is that we've been observed as being the annoying person.
I know. We do tend to talk, but we try to whisper. I know. Probably when we watched Peninsula, I was loud towards the end. So I guess maybe I'm the problem. But that was only one movie.
Yeah, I remember it once. I think we were watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't even
And the girl
remember
next
that.
to me was like, "Can you guys shut up?" I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Oh, okay, I don't even remember that, so, okay. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm the obnoxious one.
But still,
Still, yeah.
it's an experience.
Yeah,
It
and
enhances the movie. Like, of course, it's very comfortable sitting on your own couch in sweats,
yeah,
having all the candy and easy access to the toilet. But like,
it's not the same.
no, it's
No.
not the same.
And people like, oh, but you could just. Everyone has a great TV and like a surround system, and even if you don't have, like, you can save all the money you spend on movie popcorn, and you can buy one after like a year. But sure, but not like people are not going to watch. Imagine there are going to be so many people who watch Dune, this giant epic of a movie. It's gonna be watched on like a 24-inch computer screen, like I have, or even worse,
Your
like on a
phone.
fucking phone. People are gonna
phones
experience
are big now, but still not
yeah,
big
it's not
enough.
the same thing. I mean, that's even the joke. Like, if you watch it like this close, it's like a movie screen. It's not the same.
No, I remember going to the movies and having to actually turn my head to catch everything on the screen.
Yeah.
That's a big screen. That's the full experience.
So, and then
No,
the whole thing.
I will never give up movie theaters.
Yeah.
As soon as we're allowed to go again, we're fucking going to a screening. I don't care what we watch.
And then, and then the fact that it doesn't cost extra if you already have HBO Max.
Yeah, how is that gonna make them any money?
So for I guess HBO Max is a little more expensive. I think it's like $20 a month or something. But still, that means you can just watch all those movies for like much less than it would cost to watch them in the theaters. Like, they're not gonna. I mean, overall, they are gonna recoup their money. Because there's a bunch of people paying for HBO Max that won't watch the movies. You know, that's the whole Netflix thing. Netflix doesn't care if they lose money on a movie because they make $100 million every month anyway. Because there's
I figured out we
$1
can actually get. Sorry, I figured out we can get to HBO Max by using VPNs. So it seems like it, at least.
Okay, because I've seen
but
that like
$14.99 a month in dollars.
That sounds not bad.
Not too bad considering you get premieres.
Yeah, but anyway,
on the premiere date. Yeah. Sorry. I
know that Christopher Nolan, who was a big like defender of traditional cinema, he like slammed. What is this? He slammed the decision, and some people were like, oh, typical, like, he's in the way of progress. But he pointed something out that I reacted, because at first I was like, it's not that bad, Christopher. I wanted to say to him, but I don't know him, unfortunately. But he pointed out that the decision was made without consulting any of the directors or writers or actors or producers. This was just coming from the head of Warner Brothers and HBO Max, like, yep, we're gonna put them all out on digital. They weren't even like notified before it happened. They found out the same time we did when the news articles came out.
You can kind of say it as long as they get paid their normal fee, they should be okay with it. Because I mean, sure, they do it for more than the money, obviously.
Yeah,
most of them at least.
Yes, especially someone like Christopher Nolan. He obviously doesn't do it for them. I mean, he gets paid, but I mean, he doesn't make his movies doesn't make like $1 billion. His movies aren't like Marvel movies. His latest movies, especially Tenet is special because it came out during the pandemic. But I mean, look at Interstellar. It barely made its budget back. Look at Dunkirk. That was a little cheaper, so it made its budget back. But they're not like $1 billion movies. Like they let him make movies because he makes good movies, and like it's like. I'm not comparing Christopher Nolan to Picasso, but I mean, it's like an artist, like, pouring their soul into their painting, and then instead of showing it at a gallery, at like a big opening, it's just gonna be printed like an ad in the next Vogue or whatever. Like, yeah, people are gonna see it, but
they're gonna put it on a postcard.
Yeah, that's not the same thing. It's it's not fair to the people making it.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not a fair portrayal of their art, their work.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't actually get how are Warner Brothers actually gonna get their money back if.
Well, they own HBO Max.
True, but still, like, if they don't even take extra money for the premieres,
Yeah.
like even Disney Plus did with the new Mulan movie, the latest Mulan movie.
Yeah.
They had like you had to be premium plus thingy for it to be available for you earlier. It wasn't until a month later that the regular subscriptions got it.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
even do something like that, sure, you get extra cash because people are going to be like, oh, damn it, sure, I'll pay extra for a few months to get access to that one movie.
that's also like a thing that people aren't taking into account, I think. This isn't just because of the pandemic they're doing it, I think. Because HBO Max, according to some people, I am no economic analyst, but from what I've heard some people mention, HBO Max isn't doing that well. Not a lot of people are subscribing to it because they're like, I already have HBO on my TV, or I already have HBO Go, or HBO Nordic as it's called for us. Like, why should I pay more money just to get the same stuff and some extra? Because that's what you get. You get all the HBO stuff and some more. But
yeah.
so people aren't really subscribing to HBO Max from what I hear. And I think this is like, first and foremost, it's a way to get people to watch the new Warner Brothers movies, but I think it's also a way to try and save HBO Max. And that might not work. I know that they're gonna remove this is a rumor, once again a rumor, but they're like gonna remove the 1 week free trial conveniently before all these big movies release, because otherwise,
obviously,
otherwise people just take the 1 week free and like watch all the movies and then
all of it.
yeah. But even if people subscribe to HBO Max for like over like the summer months and watch all these movies, they might just like cancel their subscription afterward.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
So,
they'll have it for a few months, but they're not going to be lifelong subscribers.
Yeah, and then they're like going to bank on the people who, because some people like forget that they're subscribed to things.
True.
I mean,
you do have so many subscriptions. Of course, you're going to forget that one thing that goes on autopilot every month. You don't even have to. You don't notice the numbers.
And the people who actually like, oh, I like HBO Max, I'll keep subscribing. But overall, like, I don't.
Is that enough?
I don't know. I think this ultimately people only see. That's what's so annoying. That's what I wanted. I'm throwing some shade on Martin here because we didn't manage to have a proper conversation about it, and he didn't want to do that on air, so to speak.
On camera.
Yeah. People only see the convenience in it. Like, oh, I can watch it from the comfort of my own home. Yeah, sure. You can.
But what about everything else?
Yeah, what about everything else? What about making back their budgets? What about the fact that like even if 10 million people have HBO Max, that's not going to pay for all these movies since they're not charging anything extra. Ultimately,
it's probably going to result in I think we mentioned this before as well. Disney taking over even more franchises and even more movie contracts, because if the other production companies start doing this, if Warner Bros., which is a big company, start doing this, maybe that eventually leads to pay cuts when it comes to the production team, the actors, the screenwriters and all that stuff. Yeah. Then they'll start migrating to another company, and then all of a sudden Warner Brothers has no amazing writers or directors or actors working for them anymore because they've all gone and signed with Disney.
Then you could also argue, if you're going to see something positive in it, what you're saying is true, but that this might reshape the way Hollywood makes movies. Like, instead of making $300 million Avengers Endgame movies, maybe they'll focus more on like smaller budgeted movies, and that's what I like. I mean, I've talked about it a lot of times. Like, some of the best movies I've seen from the last couple of years are like the small, like $10 to $30 million movies. Movies like
But you'll probably lose a lot of talent who's not going to accept that.
Sure. But they should just do it for the art. But yeah, they won't, because it's Hollywood.
You can't. Yeah, you can't expect that.
And
maybe that even puts like a censor on what comes out from now on. Because I mean, imagine if Disney's the only production company. No way they're gonna make The Dark Knight.
No, I mean, and also like, and that's also a thing. Like, we or whatever, we like the smaller budget movies, but if everyone moves to digital, you're never gonna have another like proper Star Wars movie again.
No.
Not that the last two were terrible anyway, so, but I mean, you're not going to have another
phenomenon is not going to come up.
Yeah, you're not going to have an Avengers movie. Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just going to be Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever it's called. Like smaller WandaVision like TV shows. Star Wars is going to be Mandalorian. Everyone's like, "Yeah, but Mandalorian is great." Yeah, but you're never gonna have the option of watching a big, loud action movie again.
Yeah.
At least not for Star Wars or Marvel, like the big ones now.
Yeah.
So there's both good and bad with if this changes the landscape.
It opens up to art, I guess, but you do lose a lot of good things as well, because not every big production movie is just a blockbuster. It's also art sometimes. Specifically, like we mentioned, Nolan.
Yeah, like he's not gonna get like a $250 million budget to make another Tenet or Inception or Dark Knight.
No.
I mean, he could probably make a good movie for less money, but
it's not gonna be the same, because that's what he's used to, I guess. I mean, sure, he can work on it, but no.
And then there is another thing, and I don't know if maybe I'm naive or everyone else is, like Mad Max said, who was more crazy, me or everyone else. But the coronavirus has been like a proper pandemic for about a year now. I mean, the restrictions started in January, but we're in the end of December now.
It technically started in 2019 because that's why it's called
technically, but it didn't become a pandemic until like early 2020. But either way, it's been about a year. And we're already talking about like cinemas who's been around for over like 200 years, like disappearing in less than a year. Like cinemas are a thing of the past now. Like movies, the landscape of movie making is changing. We're not gonna have blockbusters anymore. People are gonna focus. It's just gonna be TV, like TV shows or streaming shows, and it's just gonna be smaller budgeted movies. Like, it's just a year. Like, how fickle is our economy if everything breaks down after 12 months? That's a strange.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's just the economy. I think it's the what's it called? The humans, like the ability to focus for a longer time.
Yeah,
they've been locked up, cooped up. This is like, okay, this is it. This is all I know now. They don't remember what life was before, and they don't see a future of ever going back to what it was before. Even though in some parts, certain things seem to be just as fine, because as soon as the bars open, people are flooding to the bars. But
yeah, well, it is different here in Sweden, because the restrictions are much more relaxed here. Like, we don't have any mask thing. I think some restaurants have been open this entire year. I remember.
Yeah, they are allowed to be open, but they have like a...
Yeah, I don't go to restaurants, but even I went to a restaurant this year.
You did?
When Christopher from Adam Sandler podcast, his birthday was in March, so we went to a restaurant.
That was in the beginning. It
was in the beginning, yeah. But still. But yeah, I think like even if like COVID stays around and becomes like the new flu, like the world didn't change because of the flu. Like, it's just something we learned to live with, and
Yeah, we
Okay,
adapted around it, and we found a way to continue
yeah,
with everyday life,
without
which is
like,
what we're gonna do with this as well. As soon as they fix the vaccine,
yeah,
we should be able to go back to life as it was.
yeah.
Just make sure everyone gets the flu shot every once in
But
a while.
people are like ready to like completely dismiss this, stop watching movies. And I know people have said like, oh, this was gonna be eventually, this was gonna happen anyway, that we're gonna move
True.
completely to digital and theaters we're gonna die out. And
I mean,
I've
yeah, but it would
I
have been this abrupt.
no, yeah, this just sped up
Yeah,
the
the
transition
process.
basically. But also, I don't think theaters would ever die out completely.
No,
And I
I
don't,
hope not.
and hopefully they won't now either. Even though companies are like acting like we're never gonna watch movies in theaters again. Um, I think people just need to like look a little further. Like the whole new normal thing is like, you can't say that when it's been less than a year of a pandemic that isn't even like it hasn't even, it's not even killed off.
I mean,
No, we're being
let's
insensitive
not
toward
go
the
there
people who
because
died, but
yeah, no, but like in America, they actually had what was it, 3 or 5 highest deaths in a day in like forever, like even adding in 9/11 and big stuff like
well,
that.
9/11 was, once again, not being insensitive, but 9/11 was only like a few thousand people. Just
Yeah,
saying,
but
millions
in
of people
one
die
day
every day. Anyway,
in the rest of the world, but in
yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah, I know.
So they've had like 3 of the highest death rates in a day just this week or last week or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it is
Um.
obviously it's affecting things, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to go back to going to the office or going to the theater, the movie theater
Yeah.
specifically in this case.
But if we're gonna be if we're gonna be super autistic about it and just look at numbers, there is this. I'm watching something called Worldometer. I don't know. Some who knows how accurate it is. Let's see if we can find something better. I don't know. Um.
I love how the second half of this podcast is just us discussing the movie theater industry and how the
Yeah, well,
pandemic
I
has
wanted to
affected.
discuss it, and there with this is a podcast where we talk about a specific movie, and I don't really have another outlet for it anymore, so I had to do it. But let's pick this one. It was last updated today. In the United States, there has been 298,000 deaths and 298,172. That's not even 1/10% of the population, and
That's true. That's true.
that's like out of 15, almost 16 million people who've been uh, um, infected or affected. People are still sick.
Tested positive.
Yeah, tested positive. There's only been 9 million recovered cases. So still people having the sickness.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's over 300 million people in America, and 298,000 of them have died from this during this year. Like, is that enough
Yeah.
to like completely disrupt the movie industry?
No, because I mean, probably if you look up numbers on people dying from the regular influenza, it's not going to be the same, but it's still going to be a big number. Well, not as a big number compared to the actual population. So because this is just an influenza. It's just slightly heightened, slightly mutated to be slightly worse.
Yeah. And
But
we're not gonna get anywhere. I just needed to
you
clear
need to
clear
rant.
the air. I need to rant about it because I think people are too quick to react.
Yeah. No, I think as soon as the vaccine is fine again and is actually able to be produced and distributed properly without horrible repercussions, slowly but surely the world will come back to more or less normal. Sure, we will have a more of a better way of reacting to sickness, I guess, because normally a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's just a little bit of a cold. I'll still go to the office." No, you won't. You'll stay
No.
home.
Yeah.
You'll work from home probably during those days, and
Yeah.
you might avoid going to parties if you don't feel 100%. But I do believe that we're still
Didn't
gonna
people
go
do
back.
that before though?
No,
Maybe it's just
people
because
would
I'm
go.
I'm like semi shut in. I didn't go to parties if I didn't like feel 100%.
People would still go because they wanted to be social, or
Jesus Christ.
you would still go to work because I mean it's easier. You have to work. You can't be homesick, or you might still go to this one event because you've been planning it for so long.
Okay. Well,
But
I guess that's
hopefully
just
in the
me then.
future you won't do it because well, sick is sick and you should stay home.
Yeah. All right.
However, I still think that we'll go back to the fact that if you're feeling fine, you're gonna go do stuff. You're gonna go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
They're not gonna disappear. I hope to God not, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, I guess
That
we
was
could.
sad note.
I guess we could end it there. I don't like just to wrap it up. I don't think it's a great idea to release all the movies like Simon, and especially since it's 2021. Like by the time Dune comes out, maybe we have a functioning vaccine that people can take, and it like works.
Don't decide on it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
They've already decided that the world is going to be in a pandemic for the rest of 2021. It's like
And they're not going to be able to go back on this decision because if they do, all hell will break loose on that part.
Yeah, and it is also, even if it is a financially smart decision, which it maybe is. Well, I'd like to see some numbers.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is still very disrespectful towards the people who made the movies.
Yeah, towards the industry.
And I know people said like, oh, whatever, they don't care, they got paid, but that's not it.
Not all.
That's not all of it. Sure, they got paid, but they still worked on the thing for like a year or more. They want people to see it the way it's supposed to be seen. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know anything.
We will see what the future holds.
Yeah. So
I guess
this ran a little long. Sorry about that.
Came in for Jingle Jangle. Well, you got a bonus.
Yeah. Maybe we should like.
We could cut it off.
Yeah.
In the podcast.
Yeah.
On the other platforms, we could cut it up.
We definitely could.
We'll see.
We'll see.
On YouTube, it's what it is.
It's on YouTube. It's up now. Yeah. I mean, I could edit it, but whatever.
Whatever.
Right. Let's end it then. Thank you to everyone watching it live on YouTube. To everyone listening, thank you so much. And if you're only watching this and you can listen to this as a proper podcast now. We're on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean if you use that. I think we're even on Podcast Addict now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Links will be below, right?
I mean, you just search for Please Don't. Yeah, I mean, you can't technically link to. I mean, some of them you can, but just search Please Don't Make a Scene. I mean, on some of the places we actually are the first thing that pop up. So on Spotify, we're the only SpoilerCast. I think it's the same on iHeartRadio and
there you go.
Podcast Addict, I think. So yeah, just look for us there. And if you want to help keep the show as a proper podcast, be sure to check out the Patreon and subscribe to the Patreon, not only to keep the podcast going, but also get exclusive stuff, like I mentioned, the SpoilerCast with Martin. And we're gonna make, I think I actually said it in the Patreon episode what we're gonna do, but we have a special thing for Christmas because Christmas is coming on Thursday. We're not gonna live stream on Christmas Eve. No. Hello, but there is gonna be something special on the Patreon for Christmas Eve, and of course there's gonna be a highlights free version on YouTube. But if you want to see the whole thing, you're gonna have to subscribe to Patreon. So please check that out. Oh,
there will be one last Christmas video podcast.
Right.
Next week.
Next week is it's the last proper free episode of the spoiler cast for this year.
Yes.
And it's your choice. That week is your choice. Do you have any?
I don't have anything right now. I'm thinking just doing one of our favorites, classics.
We could do that.
I haven't decided.
Or like we said in the beginning of this episode, maybe talk about Klaus, last year's Netflix movie, because that was amazing.
That is a favorite.
Yeah,
maybe not a classic yet, but it is a favorite. So we'll see.
We'll see. But like we said,
haven't decided.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Patreon. Support us on Patreon. Listen to us wherever you can. Likes, comments, all that stuff. And we'll see you next week. But until then, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.